G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I will continue my Japanese black pine decandling session with all my trees. It's this time of year in early to mid-December that it's becoming early summer here, and it's time to decandle black pines. And I've done a few other videos on them. This is a bigger tree, much taller tree. You can see I'm pretty much dwarfed when I sit next to it. Very tall, very nice. It's starting to develop really nicely, this tree. The candles are getting actually quite nice and small. That's just purely because of the decandling and bud selection process. When you decandle in December and then you bud select in May, slowly that process of doing it twice a year, working on black pines twice a year, you control the growth, control the size of the candles, and that's how you have smaller needles. Smaller candles equals smaller needles. The more candles you have, the more smaller they will get. So if you have heaps and heaps of candles, the tree's feeding so many candles and needles that it can only feed so much. That's why they come up small. I hope that kind of makes sense. I've said it a few times in my videos, but it's just purely a scientific process, I guess, a horticultural process of a tree needing to feed its foliage. The more foliage it needs to feed, the smaller needles and smaller candles. So that's me blabbering on. That's why we decandle and bud select. Decandle in summer, bud select in autumn. So today, again, like with another video I've done, I will decandle and then I will actually just make sure I've positioned a lot of these branches in the right place, make sure the wire's in the right place, rewire some bits if I need to. But pretty much every single candle on this tree will be cut. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. There's nothing I'm trying to develop in terms of leaving anything to grow on and become bigger. It's purely cut it all back, cut all the candles and then work on it. Let's have a look. The tree's quite tall. Just thinking controlling that apex as well a little bit. I don't want to get too pointy. I want to start to really make a nice crown on top of it, but it looks a bit heavy in the camera, you probably can see. This side's really looking nice. This side is still developing this branch a little bit, but I think that will come in time. But yeah, really off I go. Start up the top and work my way down. The reason I start at the top is it creates such a mess that I'm going to be cleaning candles and needles from the bottom down here. So we'll cut all the candles off. Also, I'll have a look in certain areas. If there's too many needles in a certain area, I will pluck a few of those needles off. This tree's not too bad. It looks all pretty even, so that's a good sign. And that's pretty much it. So really get in there, get cracking, cut off the candles, and away we go. Really, cutting off the candles, you just look for, and I'll show you a close up when I'm there to start to cut them. You look for the new bit. It's nice and green, and then you see the needles, nice little green stem and needles. That's probably what you see. Some are longer than others, but this one's pretty even. You see the little green stem and then the needles. And below that little green stem are last year's kind of needles. So that's where you cut back to, because at that point you'll get at least two buds forming in May. Okay, so that's what you do. That's the plan. We'll get cracking and see you soon. Alright, so I've decandled most of the tree. I just found this little area here that I can probably focus on for you guys and so you can have a look. So there's a candle here, it's only one unfortunately. So I look for where it started this year. And there's a little green bit there. And then the needles around it that I told you about, the needles last year's ones, come in at the base. Oops. I snip it off. Okay. And that's what it looks like. Cut it off. There's a little wound there. I pluck some of these, doesn't need it. And when you pluck, try and pluck the ones that are underneath when you wire it. Because then when you put it up, it looks flat. If that makes sense. If you pluck the ones underneath and to even out the needles, you actually pluck the ones underneath, so it's a nice flat when you wire it. So that's that one. So just quickly go through, go again. The base, go pretty quick. There you go, that's quickly done. You'll pluck things that are too full. Try and balance out the rest. And then I can do some wiring. Need to do a bit of wiring there just to flatten that out. But that's how a nice little close-up. So finished decandling the tree, needle plucking the ones underneath, so you can see a lot more clean lines underneath of some of the branches, standing out of the way. Did a bit of tweaking with the wiring, nothing too major. I didn't put any new wire on, just pretty much just pull down some of the wires that were, some branches came back up a little bit, but we're looking okay. I'll just do a little spin around. And back to the front. So there you go, decandling, needle plucking, bit of wiring and adjusting, and you got a great tree. Don't touch it now till May, autumn, sometime around there, where we do bud selections. So at those cut sites there'll be multiple buds and we should be good. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. See you soon.